All right, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be talking about women with daddy issues and men who can't get their shit together in life. And I'm going to be presenting this from the perspective of a psychology theory that sees our personality as being made up of 4 different archetypes. I'm going to focus on the king or queen archetype today. And in our lives, the king or queen plays 2 main roles. One is that of creating order through developing and maintaining rules and responsibilities in the world. And the other role is that of nurturing other human beings. This could be through providing them with affirmations, through simply acknowledging them or being present for them, things of that nature. Now, if you were to look at the shape of a triangle as representing the king or queen energy, the top of the triangle is going to be the king or queen in their fullness. It's going to be a mature expression of that archetype. The bottom points are going to be the immature passive and the immature active version of this archetype. The immature active version of the king or queen is what we'll call the tyrant. You can imagine an angry, condescending manager in a workplace. This is someone who rules out of fear as opposed to respect from the people below them. The immature passive version of the king or queen is the weakling. And in my interpretation, this tends to be someone who has not been given much responsibility in life. So they don't feel comfortable seated upon the throne, so to speak. When they're put in a leadership role, they don't have the capacity to create order. And if they affirm someone or compliment someone, it oftentimes comes off as people pleasing. And maybe this is because they're preoccupied with their own inadequacies and they realize that they have their own growth to do. And so they're trying to win the favor of other people. But regardless, I'm not going to dive too deep into the immature expressions for now. I want to focus on 2 opportunities that I see for people to integrate the king or queen energy and their fullness into our lives to live a more fulfilling and positive life. One of those opportunities is what I'm going to call healing from the past. I feel that we face a similar challenge to our parents' generation in that our world is very work and productivity oriented to the point that it pulls people away from their relationships, whether it be with their family, their community, their partner, etc. A lot of people are emotionally drained, low on energy, etc. And what happens is, let's take it from the perspective of a child. If you live in a world where the king or queen role models in your life are not able to be present enough, whether it's emotionally or physically, to teach you about responsibility, to create order and structure for you, when you grow to be an adult, there's a sense of chaos that you face. You may find yourself jumping from job to job, from relationship to relationship, from social circle to social circle, etc. Let's look at it in the context of the other role of the king or queen, that of nurturing others. If you're a child and your world lacks role models that are consistently affirming you, acknowledging you, being there for you, there's going to be a less deeply ingrained sense of self-worth. And so there is a tendency as an adult to act out of desperation, okay? You feel that you have to have a house and a car by the time you're a certain age, or you're a failure. Or you find yourself comparing yourself to everyone you see on the social media that you're using, okay? You have to make a relationship work. You have to get a promotion at work, etc., etc. But you're trying to fill this hole, really. Do you see how these things tie into the daddy issues and the man who can't get their shit together? How is someone going to operate healthily in life if they have low self-esteem and a lack of stability, okay? So that's one of the opportunities for us to reflect on and learn about, okay? The other is what I'm going to call developing the willpower to face the future. This is a very good time to look at the way you're consuming content. We are inundated with a large amount of social and news media. What are you following and unfollowing? What are you watching and turning off? How can you customize your algorithm to provide you with a healthier feed of information, of content? From the, let's say, to bring it back to the king or queen thing, when you're presented with king or queen characters, they tend to be tyrannical figures. They tend to be business executives and politicians who have climbed the ladder, so to speak, and have ditched morality to the side because they're just relentlessly pursuing success, right? So we don't have a lot of good king or queen role models in the media we consume. So how do you cater that to provide you with a healthier version of what you're consuming now? I want to finish with one last question, and that is, if you were to look at the family structure you grew up in, the community you find yourself in, the religious texts that you have read in your life, even things like TV shows that you've watched or fictional books that you've read, where do you see king and queen energy in a mature expression? How can you take the role models that you see in these places and incorporate their values, principles, behaviors, etc. into your own life so that you can be a healthy version of yourself? And I'm going to leave it there. So hopefully I gave you something interesting to chew on mentally. Best wishes, and I will see you in a future video.